Thank you all for showing up Friday night. I know we all have better things to do maybe than hang out at the university to listen to alumni call in and literally phone in their interviews. But I appreciate every one of you coming out tonight. A few days ago, I got a call from Jim Johnson and a few other members of the committee, and they said, what are we going to title your program? And I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and I finally said, hey, you know what? Call it Joan Allen, Eastern's Elusive Alumna. It kind of rolled off the tip of the tongue nicely, but and I have to admit, part of it was a little dig on the fact that her being elusive meant that she was here at Eastern and then she fled for the northern terrain of Northern Illinois University to finish her degree. So it was a little dig like that. Yes, it was there. But in a bigger picture and in a more serious vein, I thought Joan Allen, Eastern's Elusive Alumna, was very telling of the essence of Joan Allen. She was a most elusive personality on campus. She had come here in 1974, and at that time, I had been here from 71, and in 74, I was granted the honor and opportunity of being the editor-in-chief of the Daily Eastern News. So my whole world went out of the speech and theater department and focused strictly in the basement then of Pemberton Hall, where we had the Eastern News. So at exactly the moment that Joan Allen had come to campus, I had actually withdrawn from the theater department for journalism. However, this did not stop me from going to watch theatrical events. And when I went to go see Eastern's production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with this fresh-faced, little fresh blonde student doing Nurse Ratched, I thought, no way, this is total miscasting. She's too tiny, she's too dainty, and she looks, in 1974, she looked like she was made of porcelain. You could break her. I'm not serious, I'm really serious. When I got into the theater and saw her start this program, I was like one of those G-force things where like you're thinking an elephant is stepping on your chest. I thought, this is incredible, how is she doing this? She had such malevolence, and she was such a ticking time bomb. She was a tightly overwound watch about ready to spring at any moment. And I thought, this is incredible. Who is this woman? And of course, I found out her name was Joan Allen, and she was from Rochelle, Illinois, and that was pretty much it. No, I had to go back, got a deadline, Daily Herald, or the Daily News calls, and boom, I was gone. And that was pretty much my extent of my experience with Joan Allen. Much to my chagrin, I wish I had had an opportunity to know her better. And in fact, it took probably 22 years past before I actually had an opportunity to interview her by phone. I called her up on the telephone and talked to her, and she was in her New York home, and we talked for a while. But we never actually met until a couple of years ago when she came to Chicago to promote a movie called The Upside of Anger. And we'll talk a little bit about that. I have some film clips, not necessarily from her best work, but just clips that I think sort of represent what she's capable of doing as a performer. Joan is supposed to give us a call in 6 minutes. 5, no, I can't add, can I? It's 2 and 5 is 7. Thank you. In about 7 minutes, she'll be calling. And so I'll stop whatever I'm doing at that moment, and we'll take her call. And I've got your questions. If anyone has any questions that you would like to ask Joan, if you've got a couple more minutes here. If you raise your hand, can we get maybe, has everyone got one? We're all set? Good. Joan Allen has the quality that is unusual in an actress or an actor. Nothing grates my sensibility more than to go into a theater, live legitimate theater or a motion picture studio, theater, and watch a performance by an actor or an actress who sort of bleeds this empathy thing. You know what I'm talking about. It's an actor and actress, no matter what they do, they're playing bad guys, villains, heroes, it doesn't matter. There's always this unexpressed suggestion of, please like me. And it's just not endearing in a performer unless, of course, you want to be obnoxious. Joan Allen has none of this, none of it. And the reason is I have decided is that she grew up in Rochelle, Illinois, small town. She was the girl who got straight A's. She was the girl you trusted with the babysitting. She was the one who did what she was supposed to do. She was reliable. She was responsible. She was shy. She was quiet. She was respectful. What else could she be but an actress unless an axe murderer? So, it is these qualities, and she has told interviewers in interviews about how shy and repressed she felt growing up in a small town. And when she came to Eastern, she admits that the number one item on her priority was boys, but then there was also something else to do. And you probably, if you've read anything about Joan Allen, recognize that she attempted to get on the cheerleading squad at Rochelle High School, and they snubbed her. So, stinging from that, she came up with her second best thing that she wanted to do, and that was join the theater department. And that's where the magic started. Because there she found the acceptance, there she found the outlet, there she found a way to express herself that was outside of herself. And anyone who's involved in acting knows exactly what I'm talking about. The ability to become someone who's not you, to become someone who's interesting, different, flamboyant, out there. And these are the qualities that Joan found in performance that appealed to her. Now, go back to the shy girl from Rochelle. It was this ability to keep to herself that has become, in my opinion, Joan Allen's greatest talent, because she never begs for your empathy. She never asks for your sympathy. She creates characters that are reserved, and they have their own worlds, and they have their own space, and to put it in Star Trek terms, she has her defense shields up most of the time. And that is an alluring thing, especially to men, and if I have to explain that to you, see me after the program. And so this shy, young, skinny girl from Rochelle, Illinois has become one of America's best actresses. A few years ago, she appeared in a movie called The Upside of Anger, which we will see a small clip from. And that film amazed me to the point where I named her Best Actress of that year for that role. As a matter of fact, even though the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes ignored her for the award, the Chicago Film Critics Association gave her Best Actress for that year. And I think that that was the real choice for Best Actress that year. And of course, there'll be some critics out there that said, well, yeah, you just voted her because she's like the hometown girl from Steppenwolf Theater Company, and she's from Illinois, and you just gave it to her because like everyone loves the Cubs. Okay, no, that's not true. And you know what? When I hear people say things like that, two things rile me up. One is that you're accusing the film critics of playing hometown favorites. And we don't do that, not in Chicago. And two, it demeans the award that you've given somebody for an honest portrayal and a great piece of work. And so I have a very short temper when people make accusations like that. I just wanted to get the record straight. Joan Allen has gone on to do all kinds of parts. Her best roles, and I'll talk to her about this briefly, by the way, I have to compliment you. I've looked over your questions, and there isn't a bad one in the group, except the one that said, let's see, what is your home phone number, and when can I call you? Jay, I told you not to do that.
I have a home phone.
I'm sure you do. So I'll be asking her a few of those questions, and we'll get through as many as we can. Now, to be honest, we parlayed Joan's time into about 15 to 20 minutes. Is that right? 15 to 20 minutes. If she likes our questions and she doesn't have some other place to hurry off to, she may spend a few more minutes with us, but we get her for at least 15 to 20 minutes. So hopefully by that time, we can get most of the essential questions answered. Now, Joan Allen, as I said, started out, we're going to start with a movie. Let's back up.